G'day friends, Andy here. Today I'm going to edit a photo that I took of Jenn at Trinity Beach near Cairns. The raw file looks like this, and the finished image will look like... Okay, when looking at this raw file I can see that it looks a little blue, and that's because I changed the color temperature on my camera towards the blue side, and the flash was a color temperature orange gelled Speedlite, and blue with an orange Speedlite should be neutral somehow. So her body does look a little neutral, but the sea is a little blue there. But first things first, I usually crop photos so I know what I'm working with. Now the angle of the water doesn't quite look so good there, so if I adjust the angle there a little, looks good to me. Pull it down there, and love a good 8x10 shot. Put Jenn in the middle there. Maybe crop her just below the knees, so we're concentrating more on her face. And maybe just pull it up a little. Get her in the middle. And crop it there, see how it looks. Maybe more towards the middle. That's pretty good. Is my horizon straight? Hard to tell with that island in the background there. I'll have to do this by eye. Jenn in the middle. That's great. This is one thing I'm really fussy about, is cropping. The photos, just to look right, you just need the crop right in the right spot. Looks pretty good to me. Do I need that rock there? Possibly not. So maybe I'll just crop it a little smaller. Get a subject in the middle. And over one more. Right in the middle. No. Maybe back a little. Good. Great. And I'm pretty happy with that now. That seems pretty balanced to me. Okay, so with this color temperature over on the blue side, what do we do about this? We'll neutralize it out a little and have a play from there. So I'll bring it more towards what should be neutral for the moment. And I've got to tell you, one of the reasons I made this blue was that water was just grey and not very photogenic. So the water looks, and the sky looks a little more natural there. We'll make it a little bluer later. Maybe we'll do that with that haze setting. Now, as for my exposure, could I bring it up a bit? Possibly. It looks a little over, but I'll bring it back down with some of the other sliders. Now, the highlights, believe it or not, I'll bring it up. And the whites, believe it or not, I'll bring up. And the blacks, well, maybe I'll bring down for a bit of contrast here. And if you have a look at the top right, the histogram is evening out. And now we've got a black point and a white point up there. Okay, so to bring some blue back in, and this is inadvertently what the dehaze does. We bring that up, it will make it bluer. We can go bluer than that. But it's made Jenn orange. That's not a good look at all. That's possibly a little too much on the clouds there. But it does look quite dramatic. I'll leave it there for now, and I'll deal with the orange and the red. Now, this is not the way I usually would do this, but let's see how we do it today. Okay, orange. Let's try and pull it down, see what happens to her skin tones. And a bit of red as well. Okay. It's looking pretty good. And looking pretty good indeed. And what do we have to do over above and beyond that? Well, we could. The torso there is pretty light, so I might darken it a little with a radial filter. Radial filter I'll put, say, there. I don't know what's on that filter. It looks like it's coloured. Saturation. It is coloured. What I was wanting to do was pull the exposure down a little so that the light on the torso is not distracting from her face, and the clarity was automatically there. Pull that down. I could make the eyes a little brighter. Way you do that is with a brush. Whoop. Should zoom in first, shouldn't I? See what I'm doing. Exposure. I don't need too much more saturation, do I? Or clarity? Actually, maybe that was a good thing. What does it look like without and with? Are we adding anything there? Really? Whoop. We're adding too much there. Now, how does that look without it? Yes, Lightroom slow, especially with the radial filters. Not much I can do about that. I've duplicated that, put the other one over the other eye, and we'll really see if this works when we zoom out and we do that. Do I like the look of that? Let's have a look. 4. Whoop. That's before. Radial filters, and yes, those brushes on the eyes are pretty strong. So maybe I'll knock them down a tad. And the other one. How do they look now? That looks a little more satisfying, I hope the word is. And post-crop vignette always is always a good thing. So if I went to around there, how does that look? 4. Good. After. Just trying to get a bit of drama and focus on our subject there. So that looks pretty good. So what don't I like? I'm not a fan of the flyaway hairs there and the flash reflection on face of the subject. That's kind of that's the sort of thing you'd fix in Photoshop. So I will do a bit of that in Photoshop. I'll do another video about that. I won't show you that today. So I'll go to Photoshop and I will, with a brush out the flyaway hairs and then push in some of the hair with the liquify tool, and with the patch tool I will grab areas and put it over the reflection so we don't have such a reflection there. Apart from that, it's looking good, so I'll duck into Photoshop and I'll come back once I've fixed the hair and that reflection up. Okay, back from Photoshop. We've fixed the hair. As you can see there, we've patched in the forehead there, and from that distance you can't see it. Maybe I could do a better job than that. But that looks pretty good to me. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that, and have a great day.